It's a it's a grand day to be outside, and it's a grand day to be building something. Over the years, Kathy and I have built a number of our own homes, a number of log cabins, but we also build primitive shelters. So today, if you think about it, there's one of the fastest growing hobbies around the world is called bushcrafting, where people are learning some of the older ways. They learn how to make fire by different methods, make shelter, trap their food, forage for food. But in the time period that Kathy and I portray, 17 and 1800s, it wasn't a hobby. You had to know how to do these things. So I have built a number of shelters over the years, some just with a tarp, some with some debris shelters, some log shelters, some with fireplaces inside, some with the fire outside. And what I decided I'm going to do, and we're still waiting for winter. It comes and it goes, and we seem to, it's in the spring period right now, but I'm sure we got lots more winter coming, is I'm going to build a number of shelters. And once I get them completed, I'm going to sleep in each one of them for 2 or 3 or 4 nights, forage for my food, do the whole survival thing, but I'm going to rank those shelters. So the pros and cons, the amount of labor involved versus the benefits of say a fireplace inside the shelter. Carrying a tarp is quite a burden versus building just a simple debris shelter. So I'm going to build a whole bunch of shelters. I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it, and then I'm going to rank them. So we'll see how that goes. I'll have to find some locations. So I mentioned I was going to build a number of these, and I've decided I'm going to start with the most elaborate. So it may not look like it, but this is going to be the Ritz of shelters. So I'm going to have a fireplace. The fireplace is going to be inside. I'm going to have a raised sleeping platform that I'm able to heat rocks and put those hot rocks underneath my sleeping robes at night. And there's no question this is going to take the most effort of all the different shelters I'm going to build. But I'm trying to keep an idea about how much labor versus comfort. So I've decided not on a stand-up one, too much material. So I'm going to have to crouch to get into this, but most of the time I'm laying, sitting, cooking. So it's going to work pretty good. So site selection is really important. So I've picked this spot because there's all kinds of rocks. There's a creek down below, so I got water. There's all kinds of dead material that I'm finding here that I'm able to cut these bolts from. Without cutting live trees. Lots of stone about. They're going to be a bit of a challenge digging out, but to build the fireplace with, but they're reasonably flat, reasonably square, so that should go pretty quick, just dry laying a fireplace. And so I'm going to have a sleeping platform here. I'm going to have a door here, and I'm not going to have nothing if I don't get working. Anyway, yeah, we'll see if we can get most of this done in the next couple of days or so. So what I'm doing there, I'm trying to build back in the conifers because I'm going to be protected from the wind. But I'm going to build a fireplace and a chimney, and I'd have no draft, and I don't want it smoking me out in my hut. So that's going to give me a good draft, I think, from 4 directions. I think pretty much, maybe, yeah, now 4 directions. Should work. How cool is this? So I used to love going into the bush when I was 7 to build little huts, and I'm almost 70, I'm still doing it. Yeah, you can't beat that with a stick. Anyway, speaking of sticks, I need a few more. Getting close to completion here. Just a note on shelters. So this one would be a semi-permanent shelter. If you know you're going to stay in a spot for quite a spell, putting this kind of effort into it. So I'm on day 2. I'll probably be another half a day finishing it, totally finishing it. But I also had a tarp, or a couple of tarps. I also had a saw, an axe, some snare wire. So in a true survival situation, you wouldn't be building something this elaborate. So I hope to be demonstrating that next, just with materials from the land and nothing more than a knife and an axe, or a knife and a hatchet. So yeah, this is something that when I'm done, I'm going to stay here for a few nights. This is going to be darn comfy. Do a wee bit of hunting.